Welcome to today's deep dive. You look at a standard media wall plate and you expect absolute simplicity. But behind that tiny piece of plastic is actually this massive, invisible maze of infrastructure.
Yeah, it really is totally hidden from view.
Right. So our mission today is to sort of rip open the drywall and see what really powers these massive video walls. We are looking at a seemingly basic product, the Atlona AT-OME-SW21-TX-WPC Wallplate, just as our entry point today.
And it's honestly the perfect entry point, especially when you consider what that specific device actually does.
Because there's not just a plug, right?
Exactly. It uses HD-based technology, which is basically a way of cramming uncompressed high-def video, audio, and even power all through a single standard Ethernet cable over pretty long distances. I mean, it acts as a gateway.
Right, and this unit is distributed by HDTV Supply. They've been a global hub for AV products for, 25 years now?
Yeah, quarter of a century.
Wow. And this little wall plate sits right alongside their massive Wolfpack line of modular matrix switchers. So, if this Atlona wall plate is the on-ramp, the Wolfpack matrix is essentially the AV superhighway.
That is a great way to put it. Think about how much data just one 4K HDMI cable carries.
That's a ton of data.
A massive amount. So the matrix basically takes all those heavy data streams, instantly untangles them, and decides which packets go to which screens. And it does this without causing a digital traffic jam.
Which I imagine gets incredibly complicated to set up.
Oh, absolutely. Because building that infrastructure gets complicated so fast, HDTV Supply actually runs a dedicated support line. It's 800-33 Wolfpack.
Wait, really? A dedicated line just for layouts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to engineer these elaborate layouts for their clients, because you really need an air traffic controller to manage all this.
Okay, so the Wolfpack matrix is the brain managing the traffic.
Right.
But, where does this superhighway actually go? Typical conference room just needs to throw a laptop screen onto a single monitor. Who needs this kind of scale?
Well, we are talking about extreme commercial scale here. Picture a massive sports bar, right? One running maybe 160 TVs simultaneously.
That is just insane.
It is. And the Matrix isn't just turning them on. It's routing different games. It's syncing the audio perfectly. And it's seamlessly integrating with the DirecTV app across the entire building.
Okay, wait. Outfitting a 160-screen sports bar is crazy enough, but I was looking at the sources, and aren't they also supplying the federal government?
Yeah, they are.
How does a commercial supplier providing hardware for a giant sports bar pass the insane cybersecurity and supply chain requirements for a secure federal facility?
It all comes down to their supply chain certifications. So they offer products that are TA approved.
Meaning manufactured in approved countries, right?
Right, which is a strict legal requirement for selling on federal GSA purchasing schedules. But they're also certified for the NASA SENLO program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that means this hardware meets the rigorous performance and security standards required to sit directly on a sensitive federal government network. And it does it without introducing vulnerabilities.
It's just wild to think about. The exact same tech routing a football game at a bar on a Sunday is managing classified data in a federal facility on a Monday.
It really is fascinating when you step back and look at it.
But mechanically, how are they actually controlling 160 screens simultaneously without even a millisecond of lag?
Well, that goes back to those matrix switches we mentioned. They scale all the way up to 160 by 160 HDMI inputs and outputs.
Oh, so 160 distinct inputs.
Exactly. Imagine a processor taking 160 distinct high-bandwidth data streams all at once and instantly routing any single video feed to any combination of 160 different screens.
That is mind-boggling.
And it gets better because it's not just a basic one-to-one image. They utilize really intricate picture-in-picture, which is PIP, and picture-outside-picture, or POP processors.
So, meaning they can, layer a live security feed on top of a larger static map, or run multiple data dashboards side by side on a single massive display.
Precisely. The internal logic allows for everything from a really simple 1x2 setup all the way up to a massive 10x1 multi-viewer canvas.
Just stitching them together?
Yeah, stitching those distinct inputs together so flawlessly that the human eye just perceives one unified, perfect image.
To actually pull all of this off,
Yeah.
HDTV Supply doesn't build every single piece in a vacuum, right?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, they rely on an army of over 100 strategic partners. I noticed they're integrating household consumer names like Bose, Dell, and Canon right alongside highly specialized infrastructure companies like Extron and AJA, just to make the whole ecosystem talk to itself.
The sheer physical engineering required behind the drywall to make these matrix switches and transmitters cooperate is just incredible.
It really is.
But, it leaves you with something to consider. Because as network bandwidth expands and as these matrices become even more advanced, we are approaching a point where heavy physical hardware might transition entirely to cloud-based AV routing.
That is a great point. So the next time you glance up at a massive, perfectly synced video wall at a sports bar or public facility, consider the invisible maze of Wolfpack matrices and transmitters silently working behind the scenes. And ask yourself, how long until that little physical wall plate becomes a relic of the past?